smash that like button. Woo!
Like and subscribe.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Thanks for tuning in. The video today, it's about the 4 most important items that I take with me on any through hike that I do. If you'd like to hear more, follow more, please like and subscribe. We all have pieces of kit that we can argue over for ages as to which is our favourite. And just some simple examples. Do you tent or do you hammock? Okay, some people like tenting, some people like hammocking. If you do tent, do you have a 2-person tent or a 1-person tent? Do you have a 2-piece tent with a fly or without a fly? Do you have a trekking pole tent? There are so many different variants, and actually all of them are totally valid. And if you find one that works for you, good on you, keep using it. Trekking poles. Some people swear by trekking poles. Some people hate them. Obviously, if you've got a trekking pole tent, you've got to carry them. But it's just another example of kit that we can argue over. Other example, a pillow, or not to take a pillow. Put all your clothes in a stuff sack, use that as a pillow. Fine, everybody is different. But it's none of those things are within my 4 most important items that I carry on my through hike. The first item I'm going to cover here is a fitted backpack. Now we can argue about which manufacturer of backpacks is the best, who has the most functions, who has better strapping, whatever. But a fitted backpack is probably the most important thing you can take on a through hike or a multi-day hike with you. You got to put all your kit into something, so you're going to put it into a backpack. I've had experience of backpacks that don't work for me and backpacks that do. And the one difference between them is the one that does, I actually had fitted. So it fitted my body. And I see loads and loads of questions and answers on websites and on Facebook and on Instagram and so forth about what is the best pack to get. I've no idea what the best pack to get is. What I do know is the best pack for you is one that fits you. And just because you're 6'5" or just because you're 5'11" doesn't mean you automatically need a large pack or a medium pack. Anybody who's fitting a pack for you should know about the iliac crest and your C7 vertebrae. And if they don't, you're not going to get a pack that fits you. And if you don't get a pack that fits you, no matter what you carry, it's going to be an unpleasant experience. For me, my backpack that I got fitted is from a British company called Atom Packs. Now, I could spend ages singing its virtues, but actually probably the most important thing was it was fitted. And that's it. That's the first of the 4 items that I take on every single through hike or multi-day hike is a fitted backpack. The second most important thing I take on my through hikes is a cork ball. Why? It's lightweight, it's 2 ounces, 50 grams, that sort of thing. But it's very important. You can use it to do deep muscle massage on all of your leg. I know some people use it on their back, some people even use it on the neck. I've never done that. I just used it on my legs. But it gives deep muscle massage, which stretching can't give you. It's still important to stretch, and you should find a series of stretches that work for you that you could maybe perform inside your tent or when you've stopped at lunch or whatever it might be. 3 or 4 times a week, that's a good thing to do. But equally, 3 or 4 times a week, it's a good thing to do a deep massage of your muscles. Now you can use the cork ball on the front of your leg using your hand, and you can use it on the back of your leg and the side of your leg using a hard surface and just rolling your body across it. And that gives focused support, deep massage to your muscles, and that's very important. Obviously, people can think about using a tennis ball underneath their foot to try and alleviate some of the symptoms of plantar fasciitis, and it's no different with a cork ball. You can use it in exactly the same way. So on all multi-day hikes, I probably use my cork ball every other day, and that has meant that I haven't really had any shin splints, plantar fasciitis, strains in my hamstrings or anything like that, probably because I use my cork ball. The good thing about the cork ball is it actually uses your body weight, so you don't need any other equipment to make good use of it. And a lot of professional athletes use cork balls, so if they're using them, there's got to be a good reason for it. So that is the second most important thing I take with me on every single multi-day and through hike: my cork ball. The third item in my list of 4 items that I use on every single day hike, through hike that I do, is footwear. It's a very emotive subject. Everyone's got their favourites. There are brands you can get in different countries that you can't get all across the world. Some people prefer boots, some people prefer sort of trail runners. It doesn't actually matter. What you've got to do, and only you can do it, is find a combination of shoes and socks that work for you. And once you've found that, stick with it. I will say that for me, I've used the same sock and shoe combination for almost 4 years now. I happen to use a Salomon because it works for me. I think traditionally they have quite thin shoes. I use a wide fit, but these work for me. One note of caution for everyone with footwear is this concept of the drop. And the drop really is from the heel to the toe, how much there is of a drop. And there's something called zero drop, where it's flat. It's as if you're bare feet. Works for some people, doesn't for others. But if you're not used to wearing zero drop shoes, I wouldn't start using them. Most shoes are anywhere between 4 and 15 millimeters, their drop. Sometimes it's hard to find the detail on websites, but that's generally the drop. And the main thing is not to change that drop significantly. If you're used to 10 millimeters, try and buy footwear that is still 10 millimeters, or there or thereabouts. Some tips: wear them all the time. Whenever you go for a walk, use them. Don't use them for the first time on the first day of your first long multi-day hike. You're just asking for trouble. But use them every single day and just get used to them. If you have wide feet, get a wide setting. Long multi-day hikes, traditionally people have said you need to buy a size 1 too big. It could be the case, but if you walk a lot anyway, your feet are probably conditioned to that and they've probably flattened a bit, and you don't need to buy a size too big. It also links in with the socks you wear, your sock choice. Whether you use toe socks, don't use toe socks, you use merino style socks, find a combination that works for you and stick to it. But for the third most important thing on every single through hike and day hike is my footwear choice. The fourth and final item that I take on every single day hike and every single through hike is Leuko tape. Now, there really are sort of 2 types of tape that appear most often in videos and chat sites, and that is Leuko tape and KT tape. Now, I used KT tape once. It stretches, it doesn't seem to stick. And once I found Leuko tape a few years ago, I've never looked back. Leuko tape sticks. It sticks for days. It even sticks when you've had a shower. And the way I use it is if at any time I find a red mark appearing on my foot, and I have a video on foot care, but essentially I just clean my feet at night and I look again in the morning. If there's anything in the morning that is red, I immediately put Leuko tape on it, and I might leave it there for 2 or 3 days. And as a result of that sort of foot care regime, I didn't get any, and I haven't had any blisters on the Appalachian Trail or the Southwest Coastal or Hadrian's Wall Path or anything. I did not get one blister. Leuko tape, obviously, you can get a big roll of tape, which is a little bit heavy to take. So what I do is I find this sort of parchment paper. This happens to be A4 labels from years ago when they're dot matrix printers, but I stick Leuko tape to it. That hardly weighs a thing. That amount of Leuko tape would probably do me for a couple of weeks. So I will carry 2 or 3 of these in the bag. And that's my total supply of Leuko tape. And it links in to overall foot care, which links back to footwear, which links back to socks and your foot covering choice. So that's it. Those are the 4 most important items I take on every single day hike and through hike. A fitted backpack, a consistent footwear choice, my cork ball, and Leuko tape. Thank you. So if this was useful to you, please like and subscribe. I've got a few through hikes coming up, so there'll be some daily videos of views a bit more exciting than the view here. So thank you for watching.
Smash that like button. Woo!
Like and subscribe.